Every living thing from the smallest plant to your own body is made of tiny units called cells. These cells don't live forever. They have a life cycle, just like people do. They are born, they grow, they do their jobs eventually, they make new cells. This whole process, from the moment a new cell is formed until it divides to make two new daughter cells, is called the cell cycle. For a cell to move forward and divide, it needs a green light, you know. This green light tells the cell to go ahead and grow bigger. But the cell cycle also has red lights. These red lights are very important safety stops called checkpoints. At these checkpoints, the cell has to pause and make sure everything is okay before it can continue. This system of starting and stopping ensures that cells only divide when they are supposed to, and that the new cells they create are healthy and correct. This careful control is essential for keeping an organism healthy and functioning properly over its entire lifetime. In this exploration, we will journey through the life of a typical cell. We will look at each stage of its cycle in detail, understanding what happens during its growth period and during the dramatic process of division. A major focus will be on the intricate control systems that act like traffic cops, directing the cell when to proceed and when to halt. We will learn about the special proteins that give these signals. By understanding the normal rules of the cell cycle, we can then understand what happens when those rules are broken, which can lead to serious diseases like cancer. The cell cycle is a highly organized and orderly sequence of events. To make it easier to study, scientists have divided it into 4 main stages. Think of these stages like chapters in a book. The first 3 stages, G1, S, G2, are collectively known as interphase. This is the longest part of the cell cycle, where the cell spends most of its time growing and preparing. The final stage is the M phase, which includes both mitosis and cytokinesis. This is the part of the cycle where the cell actually divides. Each phase has a specific job to do, ensuring 2 identical copies. Let's quickly define what happens in each stage. First is G1, gap 1, a period of intense growth. The cell gets bigger and makes new proteins. The cell makes new organelles. Next is S, synthesis. The cell copies all of its DNA. After S comes G2, gap 2. The cell continues to grow and makes final preparations. Finally, M, mitotic. The cell divides its copied DNA through mitosis, then splits its cytoplasm to form 2 daughter cells, cytokinesis. Imagine baking a cake. Interphase, G1, S, G2, is prep work. In G1, you gather ingredients and bowls. In S, you make a second identical batch of batter. In G2, you preheat the oven and grease pans. M is baking, then cutting the cake in half to share. M is much shorter than interphase. Picture a 24-hour clock. Interphase 23 hours, G1 11 hours, S 8 hours, G2 4 hours, M 1 hour. This shows most of the cell's life is preparation, not division. We will begin with a broad overview of the entire cycle, then zoom in on the preparatory phase known as interphase. After that, we will witness the main event, mitosis. We will then see how the cell physically splits in 2 during cytokinesis. Finally, we will investigate the molecular signals and checkpoints and see how errors in this regulation are linked to the development of cancer. By the end, you'll see how this single process connects to growth, health, and even the inheritance of traits. Interphase is often called the resting stage, but that name is very misleading. It is actually an incredibly busy and active time for the cell. This preparatory phase is divided into 3 distinct subphases, G1, S, and G2. The first of these is the G1 phase, or gap 1. Following cell division, a new daughter cell is quite small. The G1 phase is its primary period of growth. During this time, the cell increases in size, synthesizes new proteins needed for its functions, and produces more organelles like mitochondria and ribosomes. It's like a young person growing, eating, and acquiring the tools they need to do their future job. This phase is also a critical decision point for the cell, where it commits to dividing or exits the cycle. After the cell has grown sufficiently and received the proper signals to proceed, it enters the S phase. The S stands for synthesis, specifically the synthesis of DNA. This is one of the most important events in the entire cell cycle. During the S phase, the cell makes an exact copy of all the DNA in its nucleus. Before this phase, each chromosome consists of a single DNA molecule. After the S phase is complete, each chromosome is made up of 2 identical copies, called sister chromatids, which are joined together. This ensures that when the cell divides, Each of the two new daughter cells will receive a full and identical set of genetic instructions. Once DNA replication is complete, the cell moves into the G2 phase, or gap 2. This is the final checkpoint before the cell commits to division. After the long preparatory period of interphase, the cell is finally ready to enter the M phase. The first part of the M phase is mitosis, the process of dividing the nucleus and its duplicated DNA. Mitosis is a continuous process, but to make it easier to understand, scientists have broken it down into 4 distinct subphases: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. Each phase describes a specific set of actions involving the chromosomes. The main goal of mitosis is to ensure that each new daughter cell gets one full, perfect set of chromosomes. This process is remarkably precise, like an automated assembly line in a factory that sorts and delivers identical packages to 2 different locations. The first phase is prophase. During prophase, the duplicated DNA, which was long and stringy during interphase, condenses and coils up into tightly packed visible chromosomes. Each chromosome looks like an X because it consists of 2 identical sister chromatids joined at the center. At the same time, the membrane around the nucleus begins to break down, and a structure called the mitotic spindle starts to form from opposite ends of the cell. These spindle fibers are like ropes that will later pull the chromosomes apart. In a factory analogy, this is like taking all the product blueprints, DNA, and packaging them into neat, easy-to-move boxes, chromosomes. Next comes metaphase, where meta means middle. During metaphase, all the chromosomes line up single file right along the middle of the cell. This imaginary line is called the metaphase plate. The spindle fibers, which have been growing out from the poles of the cell, attach to the center of each chromosome. This is the most critical checkpoint of mitosis. The cell pauses to ensure that every single chromosome is properly attached to spindle fibers from both sides. This is like a factory's final inspection, where a supervisor checks that every package is correctly placed on the conveyor belt before it's sent off for delivery. Once every chromosome is correctly aligned and attached, the cell enters anaphase. During anaphase, the proteins holding the sister chromatids together are dissolved. The spindle fibers then shorten, pulling the identical sister chromatids apart toward opposite ends of the cell. Once separated, each chromatid is now considered its own individual chromosome. This movement ensures that each side of the cell receives one complete set of genetic instructions. Finally, in telophase, the separated chromosomes arrive at the opposite poles of the cell. The chromosomes begin to uncoil and relax back into their stringy form, and a new nuclear membrane forms around each of the 2 sets of chromosomes, creating 2 new nuclei. Mitosis is now complete. Mitosis successfully creates 2 identical nuclei at opposite ends of a single elongated cell. However, the cell cycle is not finished yet. The final step is cytokinesis, which is the division of the cytoplasm to form 2 separate daughter cells. Cytokinesis usually begins during late anaphase or telophase and is the process that physically splits one cell into 2. While the goal is the same for all eukaryotic cells, to divide the cytoplasm and organelles between the 2 new cells, the method is different in animal cells and plant cells. This difference is due to the presence of a rigid cell wall in plants, which is absent in animals. In animal cells, and other cells that lack a cell wall, cytokinesis occurs through a process called cleavage. It starts with the formation of a shallow groove on the cell surface near the old metaphase plate. This groove is called the cleavage furrow. On the cytoplasmic side of this furrow is a ring of protein fibers, mostly made of actin and myosin, the same proteins that cause muscle contraction. This ring of proteins contracts, like pulling a drawstring on a bag. As the ring tightens, it pinches the cell in 2, eventually separating it into 2 distinct daughter cells, each with its own nucleus and share of the cytoplasm. Plant cells, on the other hand, cannot be pinched in 2 because they are surrounded by a strong, rigid cell wall. Instead of a cleavage furrow, they build a new wall down the middle of the cell. This process involves vesicles, which are small membrane-bound sacs produced by the Golgi apparatus. These vesicles travel to the center of the cell and fuse together to form a structure called the cell plate. The cell plate grows outward from the center toward the edges of the parent cell wall. Eventually, it fuses with the existing cell wall, dividing the cell into 2 separate daughter cells, each with its own plasma membrane and cell wall. A great real-world example of this process in plants can be seen when you take a cutting from a plant and place it in water. The cells at the cut end of the stem are stimulated to divide to form new roots. The plant cells undergo mitosis and then cytokinesis by forming a cell plate. Each time a cell divides, a new cell wall must be built between the two daughter cells. This process, repeated thousands of times, allows the plant cutting to grow a completely new root system, demonstrating the power of cell division and cytokinesis in plant growth and regeneration. It is, a testament to the robust mechanism that allows plants to build their structure from the ground up, one cell at a time. The cell cycle is not a simple domino effect, where one phase automatically triggers the next. Instead, it's a highly regulated process, controlled by molecular signals. This control system ensures cells divide only when needed, and that each stage finishes correctly before the next begins. Main players: cyclins and cyclin-dependent kinases, CDKs. Think of CDKs as the engine, present but off. Cyclins are the keys that turn the engine on. Cyclin levels rise and fall, binding CDKs and activating them. Cyclin plus CDK form an active complex that gives a go-ahead signal. Example: a specific complex triggers S phase entry. Another complex initiates M phase. After the task, cyclin is broken down, turning CDK off. This rise and fall drives the cell one way through the cycle. It prevents going backward or repeating a phase. This on-off system is the fundamental timing mechanism. The cell cycle has several critical checkpoints. Checkpoints are stop points where the cycle pauses, like a factory inspection on an assembly line. The three major checkpoints, G1, G2, M. G1 checks cell size, nutrients, growth factors. If it gets the go signal, the cell usually completes the cycle. If not, it may exit into a non-dividing state. G2 ensures DNA is replicated correctly. M checkpoint, metaphase, ensures chromosomes are attached to the spindle before anaphase. Checkpoints are controlled by internal and external signals. Internal signals are like text messages from within the cell. If a chromosome isn't properly attached to the spindle during metaphase, that sends an internal signal that keeps the M checkpoint active and delays anaphase. This prevents daughter cells with the wrong chromosome number. External signals are like phone calls from other cells. These include growth factors, proteins that stimulate division. For example, platelets release growth factors after a cut to tell nearby skin cells to divide. Flow step, external signal, growth factor, cyclin production increases, cyclin binds CDK, active complex signals cell to pass G1 checkpoint. Show flow diagram image. The cell cycle's intricate control system is essential for the health of an organism. When this control system breaks down, cell division can become unregulated, leading to disastrous consequences. Cancer is fundamentally a disease of the cell cycle. Cancer cells do not listen to normal stop signals. They ignore the checkpoints and keep growing and dividing uncontrollably. That forms a mass of abnormal cells called a tumor. This happens because of mutations in genes that regulate the cell cycle. These genes might make stop signal proteins or repair damaged DNA. Loss of control is like a car with a stuck accelerator and broken brakes. Normal cells get signals, growth factors that act as the accelerator. Checkpoint proteins act as the brakes. Cancer cells often have a stuck accelerator. They may make their own growth factors or have signaling pathways permanently switched on. Their brakes, checkpoint proteins, are often defective or missing. That combo causes relentless, inappropriate cell division, the hallmark of cancer. A primary tumor is a mass of those cells. If it stays in place, it's considered benign. Benign tumors can press on nearby tissues but are less deadly. It gets dangerous if cancer cells spread to other parts of the body. That spread is called metastasis. Cancer cells can break away from the original tumor. They can enter the bloodstream or the lymphatic system. They travel to distant organs and form secondary tumors. That spread makes cancer hard to treat and causes most cancer deaths. Many factors raise mutation risk. Exposure to carcinogens can damage DNA. Smoking is a well-known example linked to lung cancer. Tobacco chemicals can directly damage DNA in lung lining cells. If damage hits genes controlling the cell cycle, like a checkpoint gene, the cell may lose its ability to stop dividing. Over time, accumulating mutations can turn a normal lung cell cancerous and a tumor develops. This shows the direct cause and effect. DNA damage, failed cell cycle control, cancer. So, cause, mutation in a cell cycle control gene, e.g., due to smoking. Effect, checkpoint protein fails. Effect, the cell divides uncontrollably. Result, a tumor forms. We have journeyed through the intricate life of a cell, from its birth to its division into two new cells. We've seen the cell cycle is a highly organized, carefully controlled sequence of events. The majority of a cell's life is spent in interphase, G1, S phase, G2, a busy period of growth and precise replication of DNA. This preparation ensures the cell is equipped for division. It provides the resources and genetic material for the next generation. The M phase, mitosis, and cytokinesis, is the dramatic conclusion. During mitosis, the cell performs a four-step dance: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, separating duplicated chromosomes into two identical sets. Each new nucleus receives a complete copy of the genetic blueprint. Cytokinesis then physically divides the cell in two. In animal cells, the membrane pinches apart. In plant cells, a new cell wall, cell plate, forms down the middle. The cell cycle does not run on autopilot. It's governed by a sophisticated control system. That system uses proteins called cyclins and CDKs as molecular on-off switches. Progression is policed by checkpoints. G1 checkpoint, G2 checkpoint, M checkpoint. These checkpoints monitor signals and ensure steps are complete, preventing catastrophic errors. Cancer can result from failure of this control system. Mutations can damage genes for regulatory proteins, causing loss of control. Cells then divide without restraint, ignoring stop signals and forming tumors. Understanding the cell cycle is fundamental to life, growth, healing, and disease. The faithful duplication and distribution of chromosomes ensures every cell has the same genetic information, the basis for inheritance. Overall creative strategy. The visual theme should be built around the traffic light control metaphor. Use green color cue to represent go. Use yellow color cue to represent caution checking. Use red color cue to represent stop signals at checkpoints. The overall tone should be calm, clear, and authoritative. Narration voice: female, clear, standard American accent. Delivery: measured, calm, steady, no dramatic tones. Music: non-vocal, subtle ambient background, quiet and unobtrusive. Music: fade out completely during final recap. Branding: semi-transparent ChapterCast watermark bottom right throughout. Visuals: high-quality stock footage and custom animated graphics only. Avoid dated or low-resolution imagery. Text: subtitles. Display key terms on screen as defined. For example, cell cycle, interphase, cyclin. Subtitles: full verbatim match to narration. UI: persistent left side outline with current section highlighted. Intro visual: single cell dividing into two. Zoom out to tissue healing. Traffic light turning from red to green. Overview: circular cell cycle diagram with animated clock hand lingering in interphase. That wraps up Chapter 11. Cell communication. Next, we will move into Chapter 12, where we review the cell cycle.